Hello, welcome to day 2 of the hackathon. I'm going to run through some numbers really quickly. Then if anyone has any questions, and then I'm just going to attack a merge request. And if anyone wants to join in or just see how we work and how my mind works, feel free to do so. So thanks for joining. So far we have 15 participants and we are 1.5 days in. There are X number of merge requests, which is what's going to be the work that we work on later in this call to add that number to this leaderboard so we can actually see how many merge requests we've got. At the moment, the best place to find that is on the hackathon page itself. So it looks like we have 41 merge requests. You would have to do some maths to figure out from this at the moment how many there are. And yeah, 15 participants and 41 merge requests, so great work. So those of you on the call, do you have any questions? Right. Well, feel free to interrupt me at any point if anything does come up. Raymond, anything important that you think I should share before I get digging into some code? So don't dare and say the magic words, but you're on mute.
Yay! Yeah, nothing really from my side. Just great to see that the merge requests are rolling in. And yeah, if there's anything we can do to help anyone along their journey, yeah, just get hold of us in Discord or in the merge request at GitLab bot help.
Absolutely, absolutely. This brilliant source of truth, the hackathon site, hopefully says, leave a comment on the issue. I was hoping it was going to say something about Discord on here. Just tell me it does.
Discord is mentioned, I think.
Getting help.
Right
there you go. So, although again, this is another great opportunity for an MR, and I'll pick it up because the idea of this session is to show just how easy it is to contribute. So we archived the hackathon channel and the kind of belief that the contribute channel was enough, all contributions kind of treated equally. So I'm just going to dive in and make the change and go from there. So with any of our website or handbook, the simplest way to make the change is to go to the source right at the bottom, and quite a simple little trick to switch because we can't make a change on the canonical project directly, is to change from the GitLab com or GitLab org group to the GitLab community group. Again, feel free at any point to interrupt me and say, I know a better way of doing that. In this instance, you may already have the project cloned locally. I don't. The www project is quite large. So I will just make the change in the web IDE. So in here somewhere, it will say #hackathon. Yes, it does. So we'll open this page in the web IDE. If you don't already have access to the GitLab community group, you go in here, it tells you for everyone how to get access. You just need to request access to the GitLab community/community members group. So pop into here and there'll be a small request access link in here. So once you've got access, you find the file that you need to modify, open in the web IDE, and we find the bit of code or text that we want to change. So communications during the hackathon, we will use the contribute channel in Discord. Anything else we want to change while we're there? These are channels for the hackathon. So this wordage wants to change a little bit, I guess, now. So contribution related. Does that need to be hyphenated? Maybe discussions. And for community members to help each other. It's okay, but you will all have the opportunity to review this merge request. So, right. Come up with a nice commit message. So remove reference. Forward. New branch. And we want to raise an MR.
Just an interesting point here. While Lee fills out his merge request template, often it's helpful in the merge request to mention why you're making a change as much as what the change is. Not everyone who may review the change might understand the reasonings behind it. So mentioning that in the merge request template, or at least putting as much information as possible in the merge request, helps the reviewers to figure out exactly what you're trying to achieve here and why you're trying to achieve it.
So what I can't remember is whether or not I can use the bot to assign this
I believe you
MR.
can. It should, even if, oh, wait.
Because
it's in .com.
No, the bot's definitely there on .com, but because
Okay.
I'm a project member, I'm not sure whether it checks whether you're a wider community member. Also, because I'd quite like to fast track this, I might just cheat and assign it to our boss, Nick, because I believe he'll be pretty quick to to review it and put it through. I did do some, what should I call it? Empathetic merge requests at the weekend using a non-team member account and going through the standard process using the bot to assign it. So doing a bit of both there. I'm just going to wait for there you go. The change has gone through. I'm going to do self-review, which I always encourage because the amount of times I made a change, pushed it up and then reread it and it's something that I've made a mistake. So it's good to me.
Should it be like not assigned, but Git bots ready, because assigning is only for the members?
So yeah, that's kind of the question that I was asking myself. I'm going to try it because you've forced me to to do it. What I'm uncertain about is whether, as a team member, I can actually use that command. But I'm going to try it.
Actually, it would be nice to see if there are bots hanging around, because right now it looks like bot is not reacting. Maybe it's down.
No, it's because I'm a team member. So the bot has criteria, and I'm happy to to go off on whatever tangents, because that's what these sessions are about. If we have a look within the triage ops project, which is kind of essentially the bot, we can have a look at the processor. So let's have a look at the review ready. There is a ready one. Related review request generic. I think this is the.
I think it's command MR review request.
Thank you.
Request
Request
review.
review.
Yeah.
So I've jumped ahead. I do need to go back to the one that we were talking about a minute ago, but this one I want to just have a look what the right. So the first thing is this extends the community processor base class. And the community processor, yeah, it checks that it's a wider community contribution. So this bot isn't going to listen to me because I'm not a member of the wider community. I'm a team member, but I can.
No, but specific, not actually, because it's so it's not reacting off of your group membership here or your user here. It's actually reacting off of the
label,
fact that the community contribution label doesn't exist on the merge request. So there is another process that happens that adds the community contribution label. Once that community contribution label is there, then many of the other bot actions will fire on that merge request.
Bingo. Yeah, probably including the one that thanks you for the contribution, or it might even be
Very
that
much
one
so.
that adds the label. So yeah, it's what I will show you quickly is one that I did spin up.
But that's also possibly a great thing for us to take going forward, is any of these live type things we're doing as part of the hackathon, to do those with a non-team member account, so that you can trigger the right things.
Absolutely. The more that we can do to emulate, the better. So this is the account that I was using at the weekend. And here we can see this MR that I raised, and it did the usual, hey, thanks for your contribution. And I used the ready command, and it's assigned to someone somewhat randomly off the back of that. So maybe do I want to? So I've already raised this change. I'm not going to change at this point. But if I do any follow-ups, please hold me accountable and remind me to log out and log in as that user. But yeah, for now, I will go back to Nick.
So I'm interested to know how to debug the logic, because there is now no way somebody could understand that for bot to react to the issue needs to be some labels applied. So yeah, I was thinking about the tabulation right to the changes, where you could see the logs of the bots, basically.
Right. So some way to have better visibility of okay, this called this webhook, and this is what happened and why. You're looking for that kind of verbose. Yeah.
Yeah. Some unified interface, because when the bot processed some logic, it adds a message, but internally it can have several states that didn't trigger, and to debug those states there should be some kind of interface to look into.
Yeah, let me take that one away. Yeah, let me take that one away. Scribble. we definitely have a bit of a gap. There is some debugging that team members can do, troubleshooting that team members can do from the logs in GCP. But even that's quite limited, definitely to the level of being able to specifically see each kind of, what do I call it, criteria and why and what evaluated and why it did or didn't get triggered would be really helpful. Because at the moment, what I tend to have to do if something's not working, I reverse engineer it the way we just did there. I have a look at the rules and see why I think it may or may not have worked. And the best I could then do would be to run it locally. So pull down the triage ops project and run it locally and, you know, try and emulate and debug it that way. But yeah, it would be nice to see something a bit more detail.
And for that, you need to have those data loaded, right? So you have this idea of the data. I don't remember what it's called.
Like the payload, sort of the, is that what you mean? The webhook data sort of thing, or?
Yeah, so to run it locally, you need to have some data to react to.
Yes, either to have GDK installed locally and yeah, pointing at it, or to somehow get the payload that was sent from production and use Postman or some local tool to resend that event to your local triage ops. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely, maybe we'll even create an issue. I don't know, should I do that now or? Yeah, why not? It's as good as an opportunity as any. So we'll go back to triage ops. We'll read the docs while we're here as well, just to make sure I've not forgotten about any kind of troubleshooting mechanism that might already exist. Architecture. So it doesn't look like there's a troubleshooting specifically. What might it be under? It could be under architecture, could be under best practices, production. Just have a look if there's anything under any of those. No, I don't want that diagram. There's nothing about troubleshooting in there. There's nothing about troubleshooting in there.
Do you have a middle mouse button?
I do, yeah. You know, when you say I'm being lazy by not using it.
Yeah, I mean, that I usually open new tabs using the middle mouse button. So
absolutely.
It's not like you're being lazy. It's like you're like to do extra work.
Right. So document and improve reactive processor debug / troubleshooting process. I'm not going to be able to remember your username now. So have you got one up yet on it? Oh, you're definitely on the last one, aren't you?
I'm trying to tell you muted that it's AB trolley. Yeah.
Right, folks, I have another call coming up, so I'm going to drop off.
No problem at all. Thanks for joining.
good to see you face to face for the first time in Italy. And yeah, we'll see you again later this week, hopefully on a couple more of the calls as we go through. But yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Raymond. See you shortly.
Yeah, see you.
I'm not going to add too much more detail for the moment, if that's okay. Feel free to expand on that.
Yeah, I will do some comments.
Amazing, thank you. Just see Raymond as well. Excellent, cool. So I think this will still be interesting, even though it's not a direct GitLab contribution.
Does it qualify for the hackathon, like creating issues and specifically triage ops?
So triage ops, merge requests in the triage ops projects do count, but we're not counting anything outside of merge requests at the moment.
All right.
It's really interesting you should mention that, because it came up both on a call yesterday, and I have a one-to-one with Raymond earlier today, and something that we've been wanting to do for a long time, and hopefully we'll get to do eventually in the future, is start to pull in more GitLab data, so issues, comments, reactions, things like that, but also data from further afield. So, you know, the help that you provide in Discord is valuable. The help that is provided in the forum, on Reddit, on, you know, other, even social media, etc. So there's definitely a desire to be able to pull more data from more sources going forwards. And I would love that to be a target. We've kind of set some of our objectives for the following, the Q2, which for us is May, June, July, but perhaps we can be optimistic for Q3, sort of the summer, August, September, to try and make that realize and make that happen, to actually start to count things more than just merge requests.
But is it for hackathons or just for the dashboard universally?
So so for both, to be honest. I think that at the moment, we, even for like the MVP, whilst we consider somebody's contributions as a whole, the primary driver is based on merge requests. So that's for the MVP decision process, this leaderboard here, the hackathon scoring, there's some Bitergia dashboards, there's lots of, but everything really is driven off of merge requests and merge requests alone. And all of those I would like to extend going forwards, to consider more of those data sources. So if we're happy to do so, or I was going to do it anyway, so it's great to have you here pairing with me. I'd like to tweak this leaderboard now, just to give us a total number of merge requests somewhere at the top. Possibly the number of authors as well, the number of participants, even though you can scroll down and you can get the number from here. I hope by the end of the hackathon we'll have 75 to 100 maybe participants. So I think it would be nice if we just had that summarized at the top.
Yeah, it actually, it's interesting to outline the process of hacking the dashboard. Like, first, people need to start with data or data stream, then somehow request it, and then somehow render it. So, yeah, it would be nice to see the process.
Excellent. So there's a couple of questions that I'm going to ask myself, but I'll also ask you, and I'm keen to understand your view on it. So the way that this, in fact, I'll go back to it now. The way that this leaderboard gets its data is through GraphQL. So it makes queries to the GitLab org and the GitLab com group for merge requests which were created within the hackathon window. And it also checks for the hackathon label as well. So the challenge with this, or small challenge, is that it's paginated. We only receive 100 records at a time. So we also are looking at multiple groups. So it looks like we've got a count here, which helps a little bit, but it still doesn't help a huge amount because we still have to execute this GraphQL query for the GitLab org and the GitLab com group. And then we would have to add those numbers together. So that's one way we could do it. So the other way, and the way that the hackathon, this page is actually doing it, we can even do some sniffing here, I think, there's an API endpoint. There you go. So it actually makes an API request to the tracking issue. So this tracking issue here, every time a merge request is opened, the bot references the hackathon. So it says that the merge request will be counted as part of the hackathon. And it links to this issue. So by doing that, we end up with this issue which tracks all of the merge requests. And this is really interesting, actually, because I can immediately see here as well that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 merged merge requests, which is really nice. So that's the way that this page gets this count here. And that's with a single API request. And the response header somewhere. Tell me if I scroll past it. X per page, X total, there you go. So the response header from a single API call gets us the total number of merge requests. So yeah, we've got two options. We could add that API call to that endpoint to get that number, or we've actually already got the data from this, but we need to spend a little bit more time kind of collating and manipulating that number. Do you have an immediate thought on your preferred?
Well, I would prefer to have this query documented somewhere for comparison, but the hack with the issue and counting merge request in the issue, it sounds more logical for hackathons.
Okay.
So because, well, in the long term, you still need to count the monthly contributions, the merge requests from community. So that will be useful. And Biterglia does this already, I believe. But it probably uses some kind of database dump. I'm not sure how Biterglia works. It probably doesn't use like API directly because it will be too much.
No, you raise a couple of interesting points there, actually. So if we want this dashboard to work, for example, to so let me just, I should be able to repurpose this and change this to community contribution. And I should be able to just see, for example, all merge requests that were raised during March, for example. So I can just get a so-called leaderboard for March of all community contributions. Awesome. So I can reuse this for different purposes. Now, if we were going to call this using the API to get the total number of merge requests, that would only work for the hackathon. And we need to know the relevant issue ID for each hackathon issue. So using the GraphQL query that we're currently using to actually generate the leaderboard seems like a more logical approach to get this summary data for the top of this, because we don't have additional dependencies and configurations that we need. Does that make sense?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, great. So something that I'm just really interested in is, I feel like create after, create before. Okay. I thought the number seemed quite high, but it's because this isn't merge requests. This is only created merge requests. And I've actually changed it to not be able to filter on that. Okay, fine. Because I know we get closer to 100 and between 100 and 120 unique authors each month, but that's based on the number of merged merge requests, not the number of created merge requests. So
yeah, that's interesting. How many requests are not merged? Like the statistics.
Yeah.
I already feel like this is repeating the Biterglia dashboard, but Biterglia dashboard interface is too overwhelmed with digits. It's not really like catchy, so new people probably will have hard time trying to figure out what Biterglia dashboard is about.
It's also GitLab project specific, whereas I hope that we can package this in a way that any company should be able to use this to do something internal if they want. It's obviously not there yet, but considering all of these are parameters, the only thing that isn't a parameter at the moment is the group name. If we could pass it a project name or a group name, then any other organization should be able to also use this tool. Whereas Bitergia, it's only grabbing data for GitLab.
Yeah, well, I know that Open Source Index, one of the outsourcing companies, they built an open source contributions index, and they used commit emails to see which are the company contributions.
Yeah.
And they used the same dashboard, basically, like companies, and rated by the amount of commits made.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's where this dashboard is replicating some of the universal solutions, but maybe universal solutions are not good because here you have to make keep it simple and make comments, and that's the spirit of the hackathon. Basically, you're not over designing things. You're just commit new, I don't know, issue number, commit new hackathon date, and then you have a simple interface that works.
No, I understand. So let's see if we can make this little change then to add a summary. So I think I'm already running a local version. So what we're gonna I would love someone who's good with UX, UI, and design, by the way, to this text box is ugly as hell, and but I'm definitely not going to say that's one of my stronger points at the moment. So I'm happy for someone else to to contribute that as and when. So let's just slip in a box somewhere. So if loading, else complete. So
complete is what is the complete? Is the hackathon is complete, or just the data is loaded?
It's just the data actually, but that's good, because I was thinking of reusing this to say something like X participants or contributors or authors submitted Y merge requests, and Z have now were merged by date.
That's a view file. Does it have like string expansion with variables?
Yeah. So further down, you can see where, for example, I've got the number of merge requests merged, the total number of merge requests when we hover over here. So it says 0 of 18 merge requests merged before the cutoff date. So,
I see. Interesting.
So yeah, it's just a case of us getting access to all of the data we need to put into here. So
what will happen if you mention a field that doesn't exist?
So let's try just making something up. Total merge requests. So it looks like it handles it gracefully, but I expect we get a warning in the console to say that we accessed a property that isn't the client.
Great, nice.
Awesome. So total merge requests. No, that wasn't the right one anyway, was it? That was that. So actually, I think we already have this because we have authors.length 17 contributors. Perfect. So we have easier. Go on.
You didn't even refresh the page. It just
Nice,
worked.
isn't it? Yeah. I come from a slightly different world, C# world, where you have to compile and build and wait. And but this is awesome. Yeah, new view, or probably even older view apps that they have hot or live reload, whatever you want to call it. So as soon as you make a change, I think that it uses WebSockets. Again, I'm not overly qualified when it comes to that, but something
It's white, right? This is the thing that recompiles it automatically.
Yeah. Again, I don't know the specifics. What do we used to use? There was the old Vue CLI was, I think it was just called Vue CLI that we may be using the GitLab project, or that I've used in the past to build Vue apps. But more recently, this Vitor Vite, I think, is the off the shelf, the recommended, well documented solution. And yeah, I mean, it's just an npm command, but every time I make another change, you can see there it recompiles. And yeah, it just immediately reloads in the browser, which is, yeah, super cool. So we've got the number of contributors. So the merge request. Now let's think about different ways we could do it. So have we always, I don't think we've always got a merged before.
So right now, we don't have the merged number for every person.
So yeah, I'm not sure. There's two ways I'm thinking of getting that. The way that I was initially planning on doing it was more complex and was actually going to be to interpret some of the GraphQL response. But I'm now
going through each author and then summing up the merged.
No, there's two ways. So let me show you the GraphQL response. That might actually help a bit. So if we look on here, when we page GraphQL response actually has a count, a merge request count. So I was thinking of using that, but then we would need to add this one to this one, because we've got the .com count and the .org, or the GitLab-org count and the GitLab-com count. There's not really any point in enumerating through all of the nodes, but it would take a little bit of work to add these two counts together. But because we've already, for every single, or we've already got this array with all the authors, and we're already using it to generate all this, I think that there probably is a nice, easy way that we can do it. Here's where you can teach me something about GraphQL, not GraphQL, JavaScript. So I think that we could probably do something like authors dot sum. I guess sum maybe isn't a command. For each author, we sum the author dot count. Is it saying close bracket expected? Okay. So trusty Google, JavaScript, some, so what is it? Array object. So, hoping someone would have a nicer solution than that.
Yeah, I would ask some chat GPT, but I need to change to VPN.
I have got access, but I'm a bit, I just have to be mindful that although we're not streaming live, I will upload this straight away.
Oh, right. So yeah, let's do this old school.
I'm gonna try it anyway, but I just in case I've got some other logs in there that I don't want it to see. So how can I sum a JavaScript array of objects?
There is a reduce function, probably.
I think that will be what we want to use, but it's just a little bit. It takes my brain. No, to be honest, it's exactly what ChatGPT's told us as well, to be honest. So,
I don't really like reduce because it's kind of took me some time in the past to understand how it works.
Yeah.
So I would probably use just each.
Just a for loop. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so but it's probably you won't be able to do this without assigning a variable to hold the state.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll do never know. We'll do here. So total merge request. So we'll do let 0, and then we'll do authors dot each and we'll just do total plus equals. This is much more readable in my eyes. So let's see what that does.
Not sure. The total is not local.
But need to
well,
return.
Sum is not a function.
Because I obviously didn't change this. There you go. 17 contributors submitted 42 merge requests, and
but something is not right. Or like, what is the score for merge request? Is it 3?
It's 1 point for a merge request without an issue attached and 5 points for a merge request with an issue attached.
Oh, right. So we need to make some calculations.
Exactly. So you can see here there's 11 merge requests, each worth 5 points. But then this one, for example, 3 merge requests all worth 1 point.
Yeah.
So we got 17 contributors, 42 merge requests. So one more, we just want to know those that have been merged.
Yeah.
So, so total. Requests. This. And I think I've got what I had account, but maybe not. Let's have a look what data we got in here. Merged before cutoff. Merged count. Yeah, we got a merged count. And we need to change this message. Merged. There we go. 17 contributors, 42 merge requests, and 5 merged. Any little tweaks before I push that?
I would add the scoring, like why, because right now there is definitely 55 points and 42 merge requests, and they don't make
so
my
you
head.
just think a bit more info on here about what some of the stuff is and how it works and why it would be helpful.
I would say why the points are like merge requests. So 42 merge requests worth like total points, and then if the person under like places the button on the points or on the word worth, there is a calculation like what is the formula like this. That
Yeah,
would be
I like
perfect.
it. I like it. So we'll do.
Yeah, there is a map function.
What we're thinking of using that for?
Yeah, the map function allows to get the subdimension of the array. So without, like, it's a replacement for each, but well, okay, I just.
Yeah, the problem, map returns an array itself, I think. I think it just manipulates an array where we want to aggregate it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm using map to actually convert the response that comes back from GraphQL to this kind of list. So picking out the bits of information that I want and doing the scoring, etc. So we think this bit we could make a hyperlink or something that you can hover over it to give.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So let's. Okay.
That's not necessary to have the span after the P.
I think don't really need to wrap that. Just more like this. I never know what is and isn't okay in HTML. I'm too scared to run this through like a W3C validator or whatever it is. It would probably hate my HTML. So
Let's see.
I'm sure that should still be working. Yeah, I just need to add the title to.
So will it be a link to the hackathon rules? That will be the easiest?
Great idea. Yeah, yeah. Is it new or?
It's I'm not sure.
Didn't find out. Oh yeah, and if we could link specifically to the points, that would be helpful, wouldn't it?
Blank.
Oh, blank, thank you. That's annoying. This hasn't got an ID of any sort, so I don't think I can link to anything better than.
How is it generated? Is that some kind of generator involved?
Yeah, we could potentially add the ID. Need someone to merge that merge request first, but wait.
Oh, it's not generated. It's all manually crafted HAML.
Yes. So in here we could add an ID.
I'm not sure how is to link.
I might just link to this. That's
just dash. No.
Oh no, it did. It's just a bit slow.
Well, I think that how all the points are being calculated, it definitely needs to be, like expanded. Like from the usability point of view, it's not clear where these points to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. It's
it's hard because I want a quick win, you understand. So trying to find something that's an improvement on what we've got at the moment, which is nothing.
all right. Maybe we can just paste it, and I'm not sure. Like, it will be nice to have actual computation, like one merge request with 1 point and merged.
So I did think about having columns, if that's kind of what you refer to. So, we could show how many merge requests each person had raised as well. But I was really struggling from a UI, UX, and design point of view. It started to look quite horrible. We've already got this big number and this big number. If I put another big number, it starts to look really horrible. So that's why. Go on.
Mm-hmm. I think that the pop-up is actually good because the information is there. So if we implement the same pop-up for the worth 138 points, but making the actual calculations, not just the rules, but contain the result of calculations, how many unmerged and how many merged requests and how many points. On pop-up, it will be one merged or one multiplied by 1 merged point plus 3 multiplied by 5 Oh, I mixed.
No. I think I know. So yeah, I think I know what you're saying. So first of all, it's just whether it's getting a bit messy. Total merge request merged. So merged points. It is a merged points. So, yeah, I think there is. So
Or we can just merge. All right, merge points.
got that slightly wrong there. Because that.
This doesn't build up. Like 5 and 21, they no, something is wrong.
No, it could be 4 merge requests worth 5 points. So it's 20 points, and then 1 merge request worth 1 point. Does that make sense?
But if 5 merge requests were merged and they were 5 points, then it should be 25.
But I think there's 5 that are worth 5 points and 1 that's worth 1 point.
But if it merged, what will be the 1 point then?
So that will be a merged merge request that doesn't have an issue related to it.
All right.
So
yeah, well, it's still like confusing, but it's better than already good.
Just see if we can add.
So what I think of is, like, in a notebook, you have those calculations lined in with the text. And then you actually see how many points are being multiplied.
Be nice if I could make the hover the tooltip a little bit more discoverable.
But not making the link clickable and using like underline dashed underline.
Right.
It should be.
So you don't think we really need to link to the merge request to this page, because it's not linking to the right bit anyway.
Yeah, it's more confusing.
I'm down with that. So some other links. What can I do?
It should be like on hover, or maybe there is a component for view that could be used.
It's just the stats. Do stats a text decoration dash. It's probably completely not what I want.
That should be, yeah, dashed.
Should work. It's not working. Just reload it just in case. Yeah.
What are the values here that are supported? You could edit it in line and see what.
Yeah, I wonder whether it needs like a thickness or something else added to it. Sure, I've used it before. I think it might be missing like the color or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely, that's getting rid of the underline. Let's just try this. Google has the answer then.
Right, this is a border bottom.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, the same.
That's a simpler solution, then I'm absolutely fine with that. And I don't think it needs to even be blue anymore, does it?
Yeah, I think it 17 contributions submitted, merge request, and 6 were merged. Okay. Maybe I think that maybe it's good to move the merge information in the pop-up, like when you
So you hover over this number maybe to get these numbers or something like that, or
no, when the people highlight the word 139 points, they see the explanation that the points actually equal to
so you mean where this will say 30 times 5 points plus 20 times 1 point? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, like 5 points merged plus 1 point without issue. Yeah, that will.
Yeah, I'm just conscious of
the time.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'd love to just get something pushed across. So we'll spend a few more minutes and try and get something wrapped up. What also go on.
Or maybe just commit it, make it like live, and then like those modifications can come later, so it won't be like.
Yeah, we could always work on it tomorrow on the call, I suppose. Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Because it's still working, isn't it? There's nothing broken. The numbers are correct. The only thing I didn't like is the fact that when you click on that, it's doing something, but I think that might just be the target blank. If I get rid of that, that might actually fix it. That back to here. Yeah, clicking on it does nothing now, which is fine.
Why one link is dashed and another one is underlined?
They both appear dashed to me, so I think it's Zoom's compression that's maybe
nice
making it look like that. Yeah, awesome. Really appreciate you jumping on, and as Raymond said, great to actually see your face for the first time, I think. So yeah, I hope we'll be seeing you over the next couple of days.
Yeah, well, I try to do some merge requests and popping in the channel.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Take care. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, it was nice to see you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.